You know that feeling, right? That amazing light bulb moment of an idea that hits you out of nowhere. But what's the secret sauce? What actually turns a great idea into a great product? I mean, what separates an idea that just stays in your notebook from one that becomes a real thing that people can actually use and love? Well, that's exactly what we are going to dig into today. Welcome to the Creator's Roadmap. Today, it's all about mastering project management. And yeah, I know it may sound a little dry, but trust me, this is the skill that turns big ambitions into actual reality. I mean, just think about it. The world is absolutely full of brilliant, ambitious, and completely unfinished projects. We all have got that folder on your computer, right? That little digital graveyard of ideas that never quite made it. So, what is the difference? What's the magic ingredient that separates a project that actually sees the light of day from one that just fizzles out on a forgotten hard drive? Well, here's the thing. It's not just about the talent. It's not even having a once in a lifetime idea. The real game changer, it's having a plan, a structure, a process. Okay, let's jump right in. First of all, taking that idea and making it a reality. So, when we say effective project management, what do we really mean? It really boils down to a few key things. One, clear communication. So, everyone knows what's going on. Two, delivering the thing on time. And three, actually meeting the goals you set in the first place. The magic behind it all is just breaking down a huge scary project into small manageable tasks, and that leads us perfectly into our next session, drawing the blueprint. Honestly, this might be the most important part of the entire journey. So if you look at almost any project, big or small, you will see they tend to follow a pretty standard 4-phase cycle. Think of this as the basic map of your whole adventure. Let's break that down really quick. You have got pre-production. That's all your planning and prototyping. Then comes production. That's where you are actually making the thing. After that, post-production for all the polishing and bug fixing. And finally, operations. That's the launch and all the maintenance that comes after. Getting this flow down is absolutely fundamental. During that crucial planning stage, your most important tool is the design document. Seriously, think of it as your project's constitution. It is the single source of truth that defines the vision, the goals, the key features, and who you have even built it for. And here's how that big idea starts to become real. On the left, you have the design document that captures the what and the why. That vision that gets formalized into a project charter like you see on the right. That's where you nail down the how, the who, and the when, defining the scope, the stakeholders, and the budget. So, why go through all this trouble? Well, it's your best defense against a notorious project killer called scope creep. We all have been there. That temptation to keep adding just one more cool feature. Before you know it, your project is hopelessly delayed. A solid plan keeps you focused. Okay, the blueprint is drawn. Now it's time to actually build and polish this thing. This is where the whole new set of skills becomes absolutely essential. People call this soft skill, but their impact is huge. We are talking about things like daily check-ins or stand-ups to keep everyone in the loop, consistently using your planning tools, and just the basics of being a good collaborator. Show up on time, reply to people, and actually listen to what they have to say. And hey, the good news is you don't have to manage all this on sticky notes. There's a whole world of amazing tools out there to help you. Platforms like Trello, Jira, and even Google Workspace are designed to help you organize tasks, track progress, and keep the whole team in sync. But maybe the most important rule of all during this phase is about communication. When you are giving feedback on someone's work, you have to stay constructive and be sensitive. The goal is always to improve the project, not to tear down the person. So once the main build is done, you move into post-production. And this is not a cool down period. It's an intense phase of quality assurance testing. It's all about hunting down and squashing every last bug to make the final product as polished as it can possibly be. The product is polished and ready, but the journey isn't over. The final phase is all about getting it out into the world, and this is key. Learning from the entire process. So once your project is officially launched, you enter the operations phase. This is all the ongoing stuff needed to keep it running smoothly. We are talking sales, pushing out updates, and doing regular maintenance. But here's the $1,000,000 question for growth. The project is done, it's out there. How do you take all the hard-won lessons you just learned and make sure you apply them to the next thing you build? This is where one of my favorite tools comes in, the project retrospective. It's so simple but incredibly powerful. You just ask yourself and your team 3 questions. What should we start doing? What should we stop doing? And what should we continue doing? It's the perfect way to formalize what you have learned. Okay, let's wrap this all up. From the first spark of an idea all the way to learning from the finished product, there's a clear path you can follow to unleash your project. If there's one single thing I want you to take away from this, it's this. A lot of creative people are afraid that structure is the enemy of creativity. That's planning will somehow stifle that initial spark. But the opposite is true. Structure doesn't put your creativity in a cage. It gives it a foundation to build on. It's the framework that truly sets your great ideas free to become great products. So the only question left is, what will you build next?